And you had Nicky Eyes.
What's up, guy?
And Mikey Francesi.
That guy, yeah, I want to see him.
And Jimmy Two Times.
My biggest influence was seeing guys with white-on-white shirts with the little pleat here, short sleeve shirt, with the 2 buttons and their initials on over here, and custom-made clothes and the pinky rings. The guys were as sweet as the women in terms of the way they looked. The women dressed, but the men dressed also. They peacocked. And they would have $1,000 gin games after hours. Slick guys.
In organized crime, the idea is not to go around killing people. It's to make a lot of money for the least amount of effort.
And as soon as the deliveries are made in the front door, you move this stuff out the back and sell it at a discount.
Henry and those guys don't think of themselves as being crooks. They think of a guy as ambitious. Guy's got guts. He goes out there, he's trying to make something. He's trying to earn, which is an interesting thing to call somebody who's using a gun to get the money. But they don't refer to it, I'm gonna go out and rob some money. I'm gonna go out and earn. That's what they think of that as enterprise.
You know, I grew into it. I mean, to me, it was normal. You know, I mean, everything normal about that life was so diametrically opposed to the way normality is. We were evil, we were brutal, immoral.
And you gotta take it easy. You got children. I'm not saying you gotta go back there this minute, but you gotta go back. I mean, it's the only way. Almost as if to balance the destruction they create. They're fierce about their families. Whoever is close to them are the closest people in the world to them, and they are extraordinarily devoted. And their priorities, while maintaining an extraordinarily human side, are so foreign to the average human being.
Anyway, you know what reminds me? I need this knife. I'm gonna take this. It's okay?
Okay, yeah.
I just need it for a
Bring
little
it back, though, you know.
Because this is a kind of person to do things that perhaps there's an inkling in all of us to do.
What the fuck are you looking at? You fucking... you fucking moron! You don't want to bring the chick.
Certainly, in our lives, we've sat there when people were doing things we hated and said, I wish he could die. We've all felt it.
Fuck, keep that motherfucker here. Keep him here. Keep him here. Come on.
I think you and I might find it difficult to take a baseball bat to someone's head over an issue.
Why don't you go fuck yourself, Tommy?
They mouth off at him, and he shoots them.
You let this fucking punk get away with that? What's the matter?
What's the world coming to?
So that kind of power, without constraint, is appealing.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
We find them absolutely impossible to resist because they can do, it seems, whatever they want to do.
You're gonna go ahead first.
I mean, it looks real good on the screen, but if they ever had to live one day the life that I lived, you know, I don't think any of these kids that want to be wise guys today or go that route in life, that they'd want to do it on a steady basis. Because, I mean, I was scared shit every day of my life because I'd wake up every morning wondering if it was going to be my last day, the last time I see a sunrise. The stuff that was going on, I mean, knowing that I was close to death so many times.
That's when I knew I would never have come back from Florida alive.
You know, and not wanting to really believe that, you know, these people would kill me. But seeing my best friends and their best friends getting killed by them, anything went, you know, and that's, you know, and that was everybody around me.
Well, that's the tragedy of the lifestyle. See, that's why I think it's so tragic. And one has to understand, and very often there's an emphasis on, in the movie, of weddings, christenings, birthday parties. By the end of the film, you begin to realize, at the beginning of the film, all these people around the table sharing in the delight of the wedding or the christening or whatever, all these people are later killed by one or two of the other people in the same picture. Imagine opening an old book of your own family and saying, well, there's Uncle Joe. Oh, gee, he killed everybody in this shot.
You know, and you live moment to moment, you know, and you didn't care, you didn't think about the future, you know, you lived for the present.
I made $12,000 in my second week. I had a down payment on my house, and things were really rolling. All I had to do was every once in a while was tell Sandy that I loved her.
Joe Pesci always points out, he said the life cycle of one of these wise guys or good fellows, whatever you want to call them, usually said this 8 or 9 years, 7 to 8 or 9 years before, either A, they go to jail and start that long process of going to jail, spending time in jail, dealing with the family outside of jail, and coming back out and then going back to jail, the revolving door with the jail, or being killed. Because it's just the law of averages. It just can't go ahead after a period of time. It just can't be.
See him here in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Could you please point him out to the members of the jury?
you know, sitting in a courtroom testifying against them, it was, you know, I got you before you got me. I mean, they didn't get me with a bullet. I got them with the, you know, with the arm of the law. It was difficult. I mean, it was totally, you know, it was horrible, but it's just how it had to end.
His agreement with the government was that if he was caught in one lie, he was out of the program and back in prison, where he would be dead in about an hour and a half. So I've been a reporter all my life. I've never been in a position where the man I was talking to's life depended upon telling the truth. It's as close a look at that world as you'll ever get from somebody who actually lived it.
I feel today so detached from that lifestyle and from that whole existence of Henry Hill. There's certain aspects of that life I'd be a liar if I says I didn't miss, but you know, I'm so grateful that I was given a second chance and that my life did turn out the way it has.
What's a gangster movie? What's a real gangster movie?
I don't care where you are, what it is. If you turn on cable and Goodfellas is on, you just never turn it off.
You got money for that fucking commercial, you know?
This is American pop cinema at its most powerful.
Yeah.
At its most raw, at its most visceral, at its most entertaining. Because it was unsentimental and unflinching and punched you right in the mouth. And it was relentless.
It is virtuosic filmmaking. It'll take the top of your skull off. Wow.
You are in the hands of a master. Enjoy the ride.
The movie opens up.
Jimmy.
What's up?
Did I hit something?
They're in a car, you hear banging. They open up the thing and there's this bloody mess. Joe Pesci has the butcher knife and sticks it in the guy. And it knocks you back in your seat and you're like, the first time you see this movie, you're like, what the fuck is this movie about?
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
I remember sitting behind these 3 80-year-old women with gray hair, and I remember registering how violent the movie was at that point.
It took me like 2 or 3 viewings before I really started to appreciate the movie.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
I just remember being knocked on my ass, for lack of a better term. I was really, really waylaid by the film, especially as an impressionable young filmmaker. But I just remember staggering out of the theater, and I wasn't sure what I'd just seen. I just knew that it was extraordinary.
Is it as good as Raging Bull is the question. Is it this? Is it that?
I'm gonna take this, it's okay? Okay, yeah, just need to bring it back.
But it was the second time I saw it that I go, oh, not only is this better than Raging Bull, this is just a complete masterpiece. And you don't really notice a film masterpiece the first time you see it. You could be moved or you can see it, but you can't totally know it.
It was a glorious time. The wise guys were all over the place.
Goodfellas is a classic American gangster film because it is telling the tale of the rise and fall of a criminal in the Italian underworld.
In the best sense of gangster film, you gotta follow the bad guys, man. You gotta make friends with the bad guys.
A real gangster movie should send you away making you feel like you don't want to be a gangster. You know what? That's cool watching the movies. I don't want to live it.
Fucking move! Take it easy! Don't move! Take it easy!
Looks like fun. I don't want to be a gangster.
Just give us the fucking money! Huh? I can't.
It's not glorifying it in a way like, oh, they're making huge amounts of money living in mansions like Scarface
which is a great film.
Which is a great film too. Or like The Godfathers, where it's almost like operatic, you know, it's bigger than life. This one was more down and dirty and on the street level, probably the way it really is.
Any problems, he goes to Paulie. Trouble with the bill, he can go to Paulie. Trouble with the cops, deliveries, Tommy, he can call Paulie.
Yeah, whenever you're doing a story of criminals and gangsters, you are vicariously living that lifestyle. People are always fascinated by the edge or something dark and criminal. And you'd be bullshitting people who say you're not having fun exploring that world. It was a classic story in that sense, though, of crime doesn't pay. And that's exactly how it ended.
Bye-bye, dickhead.
Martin Scorsese was an Italian-American who grew up around these people and added a humanity to them and a personal side and an affection.
Look, go inside, make yourselves comfortable. I'll make you something to eat.
Everyone's reactions seemed genuine and authentic and like, wow, this is how it would go down.
The fuck you looking at? Come on, make that coffee to go. Let's go.
He makes you as an audience pay attention to the details that you would if you were in that moment. When they're talking about jail, all you know is how they cook the food. It's what's in their day-to-day life. What's exciting to them is how they cut the garlic with a razor blade. These details are not made up. And by picking those details of the type of car, the type of suit he's wearing, that kind of stuff, locks you into that world and makes you buy the whole thing no matter how crazy the story gets.
It's almost, I think, Scorsese's documentary-like fixation on making sure that those things really breathe and are real.
It was Michael's favorite. I was making ziti with the meat gravy, and I'm planning to roast some peppers over the flames. And
the movie also uses the device of a narrator.
To me, it meant being somebody in a neighborhood that was full of nobodies.
Voiceover narration can be an old, cliched, clunky kind of device until somebody reinvents it.
Then I found out that the guy we roughed up turned out to have a sister working as a typist for the FBI. Who could believe it?
And a guy telling you his story and at the same time had the great detachment of watching his life fall apart on screen and yet still being able to comment on it. This is a guy who could stand back and yet still observe what's become of him.
That's when I knew I would never have come back from Florida alive.
It's a very subjectively told film where you feel like you're part of it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, see you later. Thanks.
Even the big Steadicam shot that enters the Copacabana was used to justify the way Lorraine Bracco's character felt as she was being introduced to this world and taken on this journey with this character. She was experiencing this for the first time, and you as an audience member were experiencing it too.
You know,
The high point of Henry's being a big shot is the Copa scene, and he's a star.
Every time I come here, every time you two.
It's really that character's entire lifestyle. It's going through the back door and winding up on top. That's the true kind of melding of theme and story and plot and character. It's the brilliant combination of all those things, and you see it seamlessly executed in that shot.
How are you? Anthony, right in the front. Great.
It's one of those movies where it's clearly a director in charge. You can see his vision, no doubt about it.
Every shot of his movies, he commits to.
No, he's an arrogant guy.
I'll shoot this film the way a gangster would shoot this film. If I want to freeze a frame, I'll freeze it. If I want to go back in time, I'll go back in time. If I want to fracture the narrative, I'll fracture the narrative.
murder was the only way that everybody stayed in line. You got out of line, you got whacked. Everybody knew the rules.
I think he breaks all the rules, which is what makes it so good.
It's not even fair, no?
What rules? There are no rules.
You're a funny guy. What do you mean? You mean the way I talk? What?
It's just, you know, you're just funny. It's.
If you look at something in film called continuity, which is characters' hands matching from one frame to the next, the continuity is so all over the place, but it doesn't matter. You're so riveted.
Make the 5 on Cleveland. Look, I never had to pay the vigorous that he demands. Am I something special?
They were able to figure out, you know what, you don't need to see a guy drive from A to B. You could just get the point by just having the door closed here and an open here. And also you had the actors respond to the camera.
We paid off cops. We paid off lawyers, we paid off judges.
It becomes a cocaine movie, too. And it becomes a cocaine-paced movie. It becomes a paranoid movie. That third act is just paranoia, cocaine, and pasta sauce.
I'm starring it.
Listen, you know what to do?
What does it feel like to be coked up and kind of losing it? And how does one convey that and portray that on screen? And I don't think you're ever going to see a better depiction at the end of that movie. I don't think I've ever been that high, but I've seen people that are, and their experience is not dissimilar.
My sense about Scorsese is that he plans meticulously what goes into a shot, but then whatever happens within that, he'll allow to unfold in a real way. And he'll collaborate with the performers, and he'll cast the right people.
You forget how good an actor De Niro is. You forget how amazing he really is in that film and how he just embodied Jimmy Conway just dead on the money.
It's a prime example of how De Niro uses no words to outact somebody, you know. He can be in a scene and just like, you know, you can feel his presence and know what he's thinking and know what he's about to do and know everything about him without him talking that much.
De Niro's eyes are his greatest weapon in his acting arsenal.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta, who was more unknown at the time, was the best person for that part.
Now take me to jail.
Even I don't think De Niro or any other actor in the movie could have that kind of awestruck enthusiasm.
I'm the Oklahoma kid. You fucking fucker. Thanks, Yahoo, you motherfucker.
Pesci's performance was the obvious great one. Those guys always steal the show, the flashy killer.
It's a wing.
The reaction for black audiences, Joe Pesci was the star. It wasn't Ray Liotta. It wasn't, De Niro. Joe Pesci was the star.
What Paulie and the organization does is offer protection for people who can't go to the cops.
Paul Sorvino doesn't say anything for half the movie. And he doesn't play it mean. You don't see him scowling.
If there was something I could do, don't you think I would do it? You know me, I would like to help you out.
Most people would lean into that performance. He plays it very relaxed.
I'll straighten this thing out. I know just what to say to her.
He plays so against what you think the thing would be. The actors aren't acting, with a capital A. They're behaving. They're acting real in that moment. And so you feel like you're watching some truth here.
You can point to certain performances that look so effortless.
Disfruta mi canal. What, we got straightened out?
No, we had a problem.
You think, my God, it just looks like they weren't even trying. And you know they were.
That's it.
What do you mean?
He's gone. He's gone.
He has a family of actors that he's known for a while, and he knows who they are and what part they'd be great for, and how to let them do their thing.
Freeze! Don't you move, you motherfucker! I'll blow your brains out!
So Goodfellas has its own sort of approach to violence, not glorifying it, but showing it for what it really is and letting the violent act be horrible because it is.
It's a messy scene. It's not neat, it's like really sloppy, and that cut of De Niro, his foot misses and he hits him one time, he misses again. It's like real violence.
What's the world coming to?
You're not safe in this film. Henry's not safe in this film. Anytime you can create that level of dread, it's just seamless.
Oh, no.
I've always admired the realism of the violence, that it seems kind of hard-earned, if that's the right word. It's like, it's not gratuitous. There's never a time someone's getting killed that ultimately you don't know why. I think it's easy to say Scorsese is by far the most influential filmmaker of the last 40 years. Both in the sheer joy of cinema, wanting to make films, that's what I felt from him. But then in the language of cinema, he sort of redefined pacing, editing, how you can push boundaries and stuff, all within narrative context.
When we first did our first movie, Men's Society, we were looking for a movie that molded after while we were doing the script. And we went straight for Goodfellas.
Every single Sunday during the entire shooting of Shawshank Redemption, I watched Goodfellas. Why? For the sheer inspiration that it provided me.
You point him out for the members of the jury?
As a young filmmaker, you see those movies and it gives you that shot in the arm to go, you know what? This is what I love. This is what gives me a heartbeat. I want to make movies like that. I'll do whatever I got to do that.
If we wanted something, we just took it. If anyone complained twice, they got hit so bad, believe me, they never complained again.
Goodfellas started that whole 90s sort of retro lounge culture. Certainly in Swingers, we borrow a lot from it. Not that we were making that movie, but that our characters thought they were living that movie.
Goodfellas spawned The Sopranos. The mob can be quirky and funny and real and accessible.
If you look at the main cast of The Sopranos, about half those people you could see in Goodfellas. There's a lot of guys sort of there in the background that come to the forefront.
Then you had Nicky Eyes.
What's up, guy?
20 years from now, it's still going to be a classic. 20 years from now, people will still be talking about it.
This is the finest kind of art. It just looks so effortless, doesn't it?
It's like great literature. It's like a fantastic book you've read that always sticks with you. That's how I feel about that movie.
Will you take part in my life, my love?
Another letter from that school goes to that kid's house. In the fucking oven, you're gonna go ahead first.
That was it. No more letters from truant officers, no more letters from school, in fact, no more letters from anybody.
Like impending day, what do you want?
This guy's worried about you. Don't want to come over and get the check,
Wait,
you could take care of this shit.
Yes, no problem. Tell him to put it on my tab. Of course. I thought you had one of your bitches in here.
Yeah, I did. Where the fuck is she?
So we got these hot books around, though, or a bitch or something.
Damn it.
It's 11:30. We're supposed to be here. You know, we're supposed to be there by 9.
Shit, I'll be ready.
Yeah, you're always fucking late. You're late for your own fucking funeral.
As far as Jimmy was concerned, with Tommy being made, it was like we were all being made. We would now have one of our own as a member.
Do you love her? Do you?
And it's worth it, isn't it?
Is this the same baby you used last week?
No, that one was my sister's. This is Deirdre's. Oh, big young.
She looks just like you, Lois.
I want you to do your part. Come here to my open arms.
You want some?
I swear my fucking mother, if you touch her again, you're dead!
Will you take part in my life, my love? That is my dream.
You've been away for 6 years.
I did my fucking time, Jimmy. I did my fucking time. I come home and I want what I gotta get. I got fucking mouths to feed.
You're gonna get it.
You understand?
You're gonna get it.
Yeah,
Henry, shut the door. Shut the door.
That was the first time I'd ever seen anyone shot.
Can't have that anymore.
But after a while, he was mostly pissed because I hung around the cab stand. And every once in a while, I'd have to take a beating. The way I saw it, everybody takes a beating sometime.
I swear to Christ, I'll get the money.
And we got to spend the rest of the weekend at the track.
Yeah, they mean business.
Then, I couldn't believe what happened. When we got home, we were all over the newspaper. People looked at me differently. Our neighbors didn't park in our driveway anymore, even though we didn't have a car. At 13, I was making more money than most of the grown-ups in the neighborhood. I mean, I had more money than I could spend. I had it all. One day, some of the kids from the neighborhood carried my mother's groceries all the way home. You know why? It was out of respect.